Nicole Kidman is the Hollywood icon who just received the prestigious American Film Institute Life Achievement Award, and she is the first Aussie to do so.
Australian or not, I'm just so honored to be on this list with the greats and to be able to represent my country.
Looking fabulous as usual, Nicole was accompanied by her husband Keith Urban and their 2 daughters, for whom it was the first red carpet appearance. Urban's portion of the program made everyone tear up. He delivered a touching speech, hinting at the depth of their relationship, which we'll delve into later. Nick pushed through every negative voice, I'm sure even some of her own, and she chose love. And here we are today, 18 years later.
When you get to the top, just remember, there's nothing there. The only thing that really matters is love.
At the grand event, Kidman was presented with the award by none other than the GOAT herself, the legendary Meryl Streep.
Unbelievable.
Her speech was nothing short of iconic. Starting off with witty jokes, Streep proceeded to celebrating Kidman's acting prowess. Your life and your resume challenges everything we know about how many hours there are in the day and how many places a woman can be at one time. It's hard not to envy Nicole, but it's also impossible not to be in awe of her. And it's hard to disagree with Meryl.
That's amazing.
Now it seems like Nicole's life is a fairy tale, but it wasn't always like that. Her journey is quite literally through the hardship to the stars. Want to know more? Then keep watching.
I mean, it was a lot.
For a woman who has over 80 film and TV credits under her belt, she's not who you might think at first glance. Ever since she was a young child, Nicole has always been terribly shy. When she was a young girl, she battled with a stutter, and her struggle to speak led her to avoid people. I just remember everyone always saying to me, "Calm down, think about what you're gonna say." I remember when I was little, just being so excited to get it out and I couldn't. I grew out of it, the actress recalled. As she grew older and found a way to tackle her anxiety, she grew out of her stutter but still remained shy. She admitted that this trait of her character could often come across as misunderstood coldness, and she never means to come across as impolite. To this day, she still doesn't like going into crowded restaurants or a party on her own. At just the age of 17, Kidman was well on her way to fame. Unfortunately, her life took a tragic turn when her mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. Nicole dropped everything to be by her mother's side and made sure to be there for her for whatever she needed. It was an incredibly frightening time for the upcoming actress, who feared for her mom's life. I think that imprinted on me for the rest of my life. Seeing her go through that pain and also seeing her strength and her grace gave me my commitment to this cause for the rest of my life. When Nicole met Tom Cruise, she didn't just see a man she could love, but a man that could protect her too. He had already established his fame as an actor and had made his mark as the charming action star and heartthrob to millions of fans all over the world. Nicole was still finding her footing as a celebrity. Handling her newfound fame when she had always been so incredibly shy was something she found overwhelming. It was during a viewing of the 1989 Australian film Dead Calm that Cruise first set his eyes on Kidman. Like many of Nicole's fans, Tom was put under the spell of her beauty. He began putting things in motion to meet her in person, to maybe cast her in a movie, and perhaps a little more. However, at the time, he was in the process of divorcing his first wife, Mimi Rogers. Finally, the pair met on the set of Days of Thunder in 1989, and in short, Kidman fell hard for her fellow cast member.
I remember being so nervous and seeing Tom Cruise drive up in a Porsche, I think it was, and he got out of the car and walked through, and I was like, and my jaw dropped.
Together, the duo starred as romantic opposites in the 1990s Days of Thunder. And once Cruise's divorce from Mimi went through, he married Nicole that very same year. Sadly, while she saw Tom as a man who would protect her from the harsh reality of Hollywood, he was not able to protect her from heartbreak. Early on in their marriage, Nicole desperately wanted to become a mother and have a big family. The actress suffered from an ectopic pregnancy, which occurs when the fertilized egg has been implanted outside of the uterus and can't survive. If the pregnancy continues, it could damage nearby organs and cause life-threatening loss of blood. To make matters worse, the ectopic pregnancy was misreported by the press as a miscarriage. It was a painful experience for Nicole, and having something so personal printed all over the tabloids for the whole world to read felt violating.
But I've had a very, very roller coaster ride with fertility. I just have, and it has never been easy for me.
The couple decided to take parenthood into their own hands, and they quickly went on to adopt 2 children, a daughter, Isabella Jane Cruz, and a son, Connor Anthony. She was enjoying the bliss of motherhood, but it was followed by more bumps along the road. Nicole Kidman experienced another loss on her road towards building a family when she had a miscarriage. The very same year she suffered a miscarriage, Tom filed for divorce. Nicole was completely shocked, and she had no idea how to process the sudden news. She was already in such a fragile state from her miscarriage, and now she was going to have to mourn the loss of her marriage too. She said in a candid and rare interview about her marriage to Tom, "Our life together was perfect. It took me a very long time to heal. It was a shock to my system."
I loved Nick very much. There's no question.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
Cruz has always been an outspoken believer in the religion Scientology, which by definition is a religion that offers a precise path leading to a complete and certain understanding of one's true spiritual nature and one's relationship to the Supreme Being. At the start of their marriage, it seemed that Nicole took an interest in the religion. However, she allegedly did so because she felt pressured into playing the role of a good wife. Her interest only lasted about 2 years, and she proceeded to leave the religion after some rather strange incidents that occurred. Although it can't be confirmed, it's alleged that there were people spying on Nicole after she took a step back from the religion. She was also labeled as a suppressive person by Scientologists. This label means that the person in question is not a good influence on the Scientologist's life and needs to be cut out ASAP. Supposedly, the story goes, leaders in Scientology were so concerned that Kidman was pulling Cruz away from the religion, they began to conspire to end the marriage, something it had been rumored they had previously done with Cruz's first wife, Mimi Rogers. While Cruz had asked for shared custody of their adopted children, it seems that both Connor and Isabella had chosen to stay with their father, rather than stay with Nicole. They also chose to follow their father's footsteps when it came to religion too. Thankfully, loneliness was not in the cards for Nicole, and 4 years after the messy divorce of her first marriage, she found her great love with singer Keith Urban.
We found each other in this huge world, and we're crazy about each other, you know?
The couple have now been married for about 15 years, which in Hollywood terms is roughly equivalent to 50 years. But despite their long, dedicated love for one another and successful careers in the spotlight, the two have managed to keep their private life, well, very private.
But I also don't like discussing exes and all of that because I'm married. I'm very happily married. I have 2 little girls, and I feel it's almost disrespectful, one to Tom and disrespectful to Keith. So I try to stay in the here and now.
However, just 1 month into their new marriage, the couple had to face their first seemingly impossible challenge. Nicole had to stage an intervention for Keith, who went on to get treatment for addiction and spent 3 months at an inpatient facility. Keith said, "I caused the implosion of my fresh marriage. It survived, but it's a miracle it did. For the first time in my life, I could shake off the shackles of addiction." And he went on to attribute the success of his sobriety to Nicole, who never left his side and supported him throughout his time in rehab. Keith also did his part in supporting Kidman when her father died suddenly after suffering a fall.
He has been so good to me, for 9 years, but for the last sort of month, which has been a really tough time for me, to have, when you have your partner who just literally carries you through a tough time,
It sounds like she's finally living the fairy tale love story that she deserves.